Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Now I want to retell about seven brothers, so I hope you enjoy. Once upon a time, there living a husband and wife with their seven biological children in a village on the edge of a forest. They depend on their livelihood by being vegetables farmers in the garden. One time, the area where they live experienced a long drought, which resulted in famine. The land they used to work on was dry and could not be planted with vegetables. A husband and wife were worried about their fate. Moreover, they still have responsibilities towards their seven young biological children. The husband and wife finally talked about determining their fate in the future. They both intend to leave their seven children in the forest. However, while they were talking, their third son was secretly listening to the plan. The next day, the husband and wife took their seven children to look for firewood in the forest. At first, the seven children did not suspect that their parents would leave them in the forest, except for the third child. After searching for firewood for a long time, the husband and wife ordered everyone to rest. The husband and wife then intend to find a source of water to drink. Then they both say goodbye to their seven children to quickly find a water resource. When leaving, the youngest child told his parents to come back soon. However, the words of the youngest child were ignored by the parents. After all this time, the parents of the seven boys did not come back to them. The eldest son then ordered his number two sisters to immediately look for their parents. However, this was prevented by the third child, who first found out that they were deliberately thrown into the forest. Knowing this, the eldest son replaced his parents to be responsible for his younger siblings. They then walked in the forest until it was getting dark. After walking for a long time, they then found a large tree with a hole in it. The eldest son then asked his younger sibling to enter the hole. After that, the eldest son climbed up the tree to look for a puff of smoke that might help them. The eldest son found a puff of smoke. After that, they then rushed towards the source. Upon arriving, they were then surprised that the source of the smoke came from a giant house in the middle of the forest. From the house, a giant came out and found seven small children. Then giantess asked why they could be in front of her house. The eldest son explained that they had been abandoned by their parents in the forest. Knowing this, the giantess invited the seven boys to enter her house. The giantess also served them food. When they were full, the seven children left. The giantess did not forget to supply them with food and expensive jewelry. The seven boys then went and walked until they were on the beach. Not long after, a ship came passing by the beach. The seven boys finally joined the ship to Cross Island. Arriving at a Cross Island, they then sold the jewelry given by the giantess. The proceeds from the sale are divided and processed into residential house and gardens. Over time, the seven boys grew up and lived in prosperity. Suddenly, the youngest child spoke to his older sibling that he missed his mother and father very much. Apparently, they all missed their parents too. Finally, the 7 of them agreed to look for their long-spirit parents. After a long search, finally the 7 of them managed to find their parents. When they met, the parents of the 7 men were old and living in poverty. The parents finally apologized for leaving them in the forest. However, their children can forgive. After that, the 7 of them brought their parents to a cross island to live together. So that's enough from me. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.